Generally speaking, good rule of thumb, sequels are not as good as the originals. Generally speaking. Kung Fu Panda 2. So Kung Fu Panda 1 was the story of a panda played by Jack Black, who is the chosen one and learns Kung Fu. And it was a good movie, it was enjoyable, so naturally, sequel time. And how does the sequel stack up? Kung Fu Panda 2 does exactly what a sequel should do. First of all, we'll take Po, the panda. So in the first one, he learns Kung Fu and he saves the day. So naturally, he knows Kung Fu now. Usually that's a problem for sequels, so what they'll do is they'll nerf him. They'll make him a bumbling idiot again who doesn't know Kung Fu like he was in the first one. Not Kung Fu Panda 2. In Kung Fu Panda 2, Po is a badass. I mean, yeah, he's still bumbling and lovable, but he throws down when he needs to. The dude knows Kung Fu. He's kind of like Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles. He's funny, he's not the most coordinated turtle, but still knows his martial arts and he throws down. So I like how they kept everything he learned from the first one, and they moved forward with it, not back. And so now we have the villain, a peacock voiced by Gary Oldman who threatens all of Kung Fu. And this guy has some big shoes to fill because Ian McShane was the bad guy in the first one, and he was bad at it. He's Ian McShane. As you've probably found out by now, I like Ian McShane playing villains. That being said, I've also seen The Professional and The Fifth Element. Gary Oldman's an awesome villain as well. And he is great as the villainous peacock who threatens all of Kung Fu. And what I liked about his character is his character was actually a lot different than Ian McShane's from the first one. It's really easy to cookie cutter villains in movies nowadays, so I really liked him as a villain. I personally think the villain in Kung Fu Panda 2 stands up in terms of status of villain in the likes of Scar and Jafar. Yeah, he was awesome. And the story in Kung Fu Panda 2 is great. They go deeper into the story of Po. Everything you look for in a sequel is in Kung Fu Panda 2. Not to mention it's a CGI movie, so the 3D looks awesome, and the cinematography in Kung Fu was every bit as awesome as you'd expect in a summer movie. And I'm not gonna lie to you, in the end of the movie when everything's just going down, it's all coming to a head, you just sit back and you're like, this movie is awesome. And it was funny too, it had some really good humor in it. I really can't find much bad in Kung Fu Panda 2. When you have a movie with a cool character and a cool villain that delves into the main hero at a personal level, has some sweet emotion, because the movie does have some good emotion in it. As I say, the movie had heart and it did it well. And the movie has awesome Kung Fu and cinematography. What's not to like? It's one of those, I wouldn't call it a kid's movie. It's a family movie for sure. But if you're an adult and you go see Kung Fu Panda 2, there is no way you're gonna walk out of that movie and go, I didn't have a good time. You may think you have to say that, but you're not gonna feel that. So just be honest with yourself and say you liked Kung Fu Panda 2. Kung Fu Panda 2 is one of those rare situations where the sequel is better than the first movie. I enjoy the first couple Shrek movies, but I now enjoy the Kung Fu Panda movies more. So do yourself a favor this weekend, go check it out, go see it, because Kung Fu Panda 2 is Awesometacular. I was really debating as to whether or not Kung Fu Panda 2 was Buy It on Blu-ray or Awesometacular, but I gotta say, it hit all the right notes. And if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more, because there's always more.